Hello friends, welcome to Inside Saiken Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about three important issues which happened in last couple of days. First, we will see what are those three topics, and well before that, what is the theme of today's class we will see. The theme of today's video is about international reports and indices. Let's see. In the topic of international reports, what areas you have to focus as a UPSC aspirant. First, let us see. As an aspirant, first you have to see any report if it is published, then the organization, which organization is publishing that report, then any controversies are there around surrounding that report. You know that International Hunger Index, Global Hunger Index, in that India is raising its concern regarding the Global Hunger Index, like that kind of controversies. Then what is how the India rank is improved, then when was the first time that report was published. These are the areas you have to focus on. Now, based on these international reports, let us see one sample questions from the PYQ. The questions will be like this. India's ranking in the ease of doing business. You know why this ease of doing business index? They ask the question because there are controversies surrounding this index and there are allegations that this index is being manipulated. So the World Bank as well, they stopped releasing this index. That is the reason they framed this question, and they're asking which of the following organization is publishing these rankings. World Bank. The answer is C. I hope now you understood the purpose and how to approach for the indices. Now in today's video, we are going to cover about these three topics. Red tide, this is related to GS3 environment, minimum support price GS3 economy, and sustainable development GS2 governance, sustainable development goals. Okay, we are discussing about the sustainable development meeting which happened in Delhi. We are discussing about that point, governance of the sustainable development goals. Now the first one, this red tide. You know, in this image you can see tide, and this photo you will see the green algae. Actually this red tide is attributed towards the high amount of the toxic algae, which is this phenomena was seen in Puducherry. This was due to mainly pollution. Okay, when the pollution increases, obviously the nutrition and the nutrient availability in the like upper layers of the water increases. That results to algae, increased amount of the algae. When this algae dies and decomposes, then the the animals which are present there, either they die because of lack of oxygen or they have to migrate to other places. Regarding this phenomena, we will see some of the important information relevant to UPSC. The National Center for Coastal Research. First you have to know which organization is reporting this. National Center for Coastal Research. They are reporting that this algal bloom, which is attributing red color, these are harmful in nature. And this red algal bloom, it is observing, okay, it's observing in Promenade Beach in Puducherry. And this is due to what? This is due to anthropogenic influence. That means it is a man-made. It is not the natural human cause. And generally this kind of reddish color is due to what? It is due to the out of control growth of the algae. Okay, uncontrollable growth of algae. You know that algae plays very important role in the coral reefs as well. In coral reefs, zooxanthellae and like a type of algae and the coral which provide the shelter. And these are calling as red tide because they are causing water to change into red color, and these are very hazardous to human health as well as the marine life. This red tide is mainly due to the nutrient rich deep water. This kind of water comes up to the surface, and so far the water which is scarce of this nitrogen and phosphorus, now all of a sudden the water is fully abundant with nitrogen and phosphorus. This results to lot of uncontrollable growth of the algae. This resulted to a reddish bloom. Why the beach has been red? It is due to the industrial pollution, and it is beneficial or harmful. Like I said repetitively, harmful algal bloom. Why it is harmful? It may kill this algae. It may this algae produce the toxins. These toxins may kill fish and make the shellfish very dangerous to eat. Some other consequences are also there. We'll discuss what are they. And these are not only the national concern, and they not only affect the marine ecosystem, this kind of phenomena also affect the local as well as the regional economy. the economy which is heavily dependent on the fishing and aquatic ecosystem. Next, are all algal blooms are harmful? Not at all. Some algal blooms are even the beneficial as well, because tiny plants, they provide food to the food chain depending on this marine ecosystem. So that means these are the major source of food, these algal blooms to the food chain in the aquatic system. So we cannot say all the time it is negative in nature, but sometimes it is causing some unwanted effects. Small percentage of algae in this red algal bloom, they produce toxins. Because of that, it may kill, like I said earlier, fish, shellfish, mammals and birds as well. When this algal bloom, when it dies, it decomposes, and because of that, it may deplete the oxygen. The animals which are present there, they either die or they migrate to the other places. This is about the red algal bloom, the first topic of this video. And the second topic is, recently Government of India announced the minimum support price. Remember, minimum support price is in news pretty much because farmer protest. In farm protest, farmers demanded for the statutory recognition of minimum support price. In this context, you have to know for which crops minimum support price will be announced, who will calculate the minimum support price, who will announce the minimum support price, what is the objective behind the MSP, those things we have to know. And when this process of MSP started, that is also we have to know. You know the students, tell me guys, which committee recommended that MSP should be at least 50% more than the input cost? What is the name of that committee? Put your answer in the comment section. MSP stands for minimum support price. Generally, minimum support price will be announced to 14 Kharif crops and 7 Rabi crops and 4 other yearly crops. Here Kharif means crops which grow in the monsoon season, and Rabi crops are the crops which grow in the winter season. And out of all this, sugarcane is somewhat stands out, because first, sugarcane, we don't use the word minimum support price, we use the word remunerative price. Okay, fair remunerative price, that will be fair and remunerative price, that will be for sugarcane. Now the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Okay, I explained about the cabinet committees so many times in our polity lectures. Cabinet committees. Students, cabinet committees are not mentioned in the constitution, but they are drawing indirectly, they can be formed according to which article? Let's see how many students will say this answer. According to which article? That means which article allows the establishment of cabinet committees? Put your answer in the comment section. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, they increased or decreased? Obviously increased. This is election year, upcoming one. So they increased the minimum support price for all the Rabi crops. It is not about the Kharif. Rabi crop for the financial year 2024-2025. And what is the minimum support price? Minimum support price is the price at which government will purchase crops from the farmers. Generally, these will be announced by government on the basis of recommendations given by the CACP. Here CACP stands for Commission for Agricultural Cost and Price. Commission for Agriculture Cost and Price, CACP, they will recommend the minimum support price. For the first time, MSP concept started in 1966. It was inspired by the Green Revolution. After the Green Revolution, there was a need to introduce this minimum support price was there. The ministry responsible for announcing and all these things, Ministry of Agriculture, who discovered the MSP, K. Jha Committee, and father of MSP, Frank W. Parker. Significant information regarding the MSP. MSP crop list, Kharif 14 and Rabi 6 crops. This list of crops already displayed. Features of MSP, it gives price assurance to the farmer in the form of government guarantee, and the crop coverage, the range of crops like 14 and 7 we have seen, announcement before the sowing, so that government can influence the sowing pattern as well, so it will affect the supply of the food grains as well. It also helps in buffer stock creation, and it is like a farm income support. These are some of the benefits of the minimum support price, but still the major challenge is it has to be back up statutorily. That is the thing. And the importance of MSP, obviously we discuss about this importance of the MSP. So this is the second topic regarding the minimum support price. The third topic in today's video is sustainable development goals. The unfortunate incident is we are lagging behind in sustainable development goals. Sustainable development goals are from 2015 to 2030. You will be surprised, out of this entire goals, only we achieved 15% of our targets. Now we are in 2023. By 2030, we are aiming to achieve these goals. So you can understand how much behind in our targets. Okay, in some goals even we are going reverse as well. That is a very bad effect. How many sustainable development goals are there? 17 sustainable development goals are there. Now let's see the context. Lack of progress, and why that lack of progress in the sustainable development goals. For that, the discussion was happened. That is, discussion is about the Sustainable Development Goal Summit in New York, and this discussion was happened on 18th as well as 19th September 2023. This is the SDG Summit. These SDGs are adopted by United Nations when in 2015. The end year is 2030 to end the poverty, so that the Sustainable Development Goals, the main purpose is to create peace and prosperity among the globe. Out of the 17 goals, there are sub goals are there. They are known as targets. Okay, so how many indicators are there? 231 indicators across 17 goals. The 17 goals have to be met by 2030, and the 17 sustainable development goals are integrated in such a manner that by achieving these sustainable development goals, we can achieve the social, economic and environmental sustainability. Okay, so sustainable development, we will see. For the first time, sustainable development word used by which commission, we will see. That is about the Brundtland Commission. Brundtland Commission was established in 1983. It was initially it was known as World Commission on Environment and Development. Later it was popularly known as Brundtland Commission, which was the name of the chairperson of that commission. And this commission defined sustainable development as meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the future generation to meet their needs. Okay, so without compromising the future generation, we have to cater about the present generation. That is the sustainable development. The progress in the sustainable development goals across the globe, like I said earlier, out of the 169 targets and 231 indicators, which we achieved only 15% of the progress. To address this lack of progress, around $4 billion, $500 billion funding is required in the, in various countries. That amount of the money is going to be generated in the form of the SDG stimulus. How much money we are going to generate? $500 billion annually. And this is also going to provide debt relief mechanism to the economically poorest countries, so that they'll come out of the debt and they will plan more sustainable development goals in a better way in their economy. In 2023, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, it is saying that the investment gap for achieving the sustainable development goal in developing nations, it is around 4 trillion, more than 4 trillion, which is 70% higher than the estimate arrived in 2014. So compared to 2014, now the developmental gap, for example, to achieve the sustainable development, the country require 100 rupees, but now the country is having only 30 rupees. That means the 70% gap is there, and this gap in terms of the value, that is $4 trillion. Of this, at least nearly $2 trillion need to be directed towards the energy transition alone. That means changing from fossil fuel to more renewable energy. That much amount of the money has to be diverted to the energy transition. Before the sustainable development goals, we used to have millennium development goals, and these millennium development goals, they were introduced in 2000, and their target year was 2015. And these millennium development goals, these goals were having total. So these goals, 8 goals, 8 out of this is 5 goals are here, and these are the 3 goals, millennium development goals. So this is about third topic, that is the sustainable development goal and sustainable development goals meeting. And yesterday's video MCQ, what is SWEEP? SWEEP is a flagship program of the Election Commission of India for voter education. It is primarily targeting towards the voter education, that you have to understand. Next, today's video question: Consider the following statements. Out of these two statements, which one is right? The Sustainable Development Goals were first proposed in 1972 by a global think tank called as Club of Rome. Club of Rome. Next. Sustainable Development Goals have to be achieved by 2030. Out of this, which statement is right? Main question. Access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy is a sine qua non, that means very essential to achieve sustainable development goals. So to achieve the sustainable development goal, what is essential? Affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy, that is required. Comment on the progress made in India in this regard. In this regard, what kind of progress we achieved? Comment on that. So this is main question. Now as we reach to the end of this video, we will revise. In this video, we mainly discussed about three particular topics. They are topic number 1, that is regarding the red algal tides, and the topic number 2, minimum support price, and the third one is regarding the sustainable development goals. This is the detailed analysis regarding the current issues.